Okay, well, welcome everyone. I'm just going to turn this right over to Chris Carroll, who most of you know. If you don't, she's a past district director, District 2, and our current webmaster. And she knows everything. So let me turn it over to Chris.
Thank you. I don't know about everything, but hey, I try. At least I know how to Google stuff. So, but anyhow, so I'm excited about this tonight. So let's get right into it. So we can now, get you guys back to your evening. So we're going to talk about tonight some social media basics. And I'm going to add a little marketing flavor or a little marketing flair on this one. So welcome, and I'm so glad that you are going to spend a little time with us, and I hope you learned something here. I just want to start this presentation with one word: consistency. If you want your social media account to grow, you must be consistent in posting. Okay, flat out consistent. So what does that mean? Consistent is more than every time I think about it a couple times a month. That's not consistent. Consistency is posting on a regular basis on a schedule. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to be talking a little bit about. But I want you to keep that word in your head tonight a little bit as I'm going through some of the options, some of the stuff here. Now I'm going to talk about the basics that is important for gathering interest and getting people to follow and interact with your pages, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. Most of us everybody's on Facebook, but some of us have Instagram accounts. Some might even have TikTok or Twitters. I think there's a couple of assorted things floating out there. But I'm also going to talk about some other things. So I'm going to assume that since we've been talking about social media and how to post so many years now, that I'm going to assume that every club knows how to access and post on the particular websites for social media. So since I'm a business consultant, I decided that it's important for all of us to look at our clubs and our PR from a business point of view, because that's really what we are. We are a business. So tonight, we're going to be talking about the basics of what to post to bring attention and grow your followers for potential club growth. The first thing that is very important to know is who you are speaking to. In the marketing world, we call this your target market. And we even go down as far as developing a persona that reflects exactly who we want to speak to. What that means is we look at the demographics of those we want to interact with our account, and we lay out the actual structure of that person and what they would look like. So here's an example. Seroptimus clubs are generally an older demographic right now, but we truly want to be speaking to the younger demographics, right? That's our goal, is to bring in younger members. So our persona could actually be twofold. The first one is a younger female, maybe just embarking on her career, probably early to late 20s. She wants to be involved in the community. Probably works a lot, but doesn't have kids yet. She finds a cause in her community that really strikes her interest, and she wants to get on board. She's looking for something. A great program for her might be Dream It Be It. A second persona is probably the demographic of late to mid 40s, early 50s, and empty nest, is still working. However, she now has the time available to get back into the community, wants to do some outreach, bonding with other women for a like cause, has some unencumbered cash. Okay, perhaps a great program for this persona would be Live Your Dream. These are just some examples of how we kind of work and look at exactly who we are speaking to. So please make sure, take the time and really think about it, and create them based on your club demographics, who's following you and who you can interact with, and when you're creating these posts. So that comes to know your target market, developing that persona that reflects exactly who we want to speak to. I think I forgot to turn the slide. Anyway, so what do we have to do? We have to solve a problem. Now that you have a vision of what you want to do when you are posting to your social media, it's actually think about that specific person in your head that you want to influence. Be lighthearted and entertaining and solve the problem. So what are the problems that we solve in Seroptimus? Live your dream. We're looking for women that specifically need grants to pursue her educational goals. In Dream It Be It, we're educating teen girls to grow, be confident, and to follow their dreams. One thing of note is not to always be selling, meaning you do not always want to post with a join our club message. By sharing what you do and how you serve your community, it will speak to those looking for an organization like ours. Remember who we are serving, okay? Another thing to think about is what you're posting on your public social media page for the general public, or is it really for internal club use? If I'm scrolling through Facebook and I happen upon a conversation that comes off your page, would it be applicable to me as a potential member to see an internal conversation on something that should be posted or discussed inside your club? Or would it be better for me to see things of interest, such as fundraisers, why we're doing our fundraiser, how we're helping our community and working in the community? Even meaningful thoughts and quotes regarding our mission overall, which is strong and empowered women, are acceptable and thought-provoking posts. Let's look at some information on how to plan your messages and follow through. This is an example target market sequence. Sorry if it kind of, let me move this over here a little bit. This thing's getting in the way. So I made this up, okay? It's kind of like a little sequence that we can talk about starting from the top left, is know the problem you're solving. What we're solving is we're offering resources to education and training, okay? Top right, what positions us differently? We focus on women and girls. What media are we using to reach them? We usually use some sort of traditional marketing methods, our events, newspaper things, flyers. We use social media. There's a ton of different marketing methods that we're using. Build the conversations, use email lists, contact people. And I'm going to come back to this in just a minute, because lack of trust is a barrier to a sale. Okay. If people don't know you, they're probably not going to say, here, take my money. I want to come. I want to join. So you have to, build that conversation, build those lists, and always ask, provide value and request for referrals and requests for that information. There are 3 levels to bring a prospective person into our club. Hold on one second. Let me see if I have this. No. Okay. Let me back up. Okay. Before we defined our target persona. Okay. Know your message. Our mission is our message, but you need to be clear in what you want them to do. Do you want them to sign up? Do you want them to click here? Do you want them to ask a question? Do you want them to something? Go to your website, okay? Have an elevator speech. We talked about this a little bit at conference. Somebody was doing, I can't remember who the speaker was. Definitely when you're out in the community, know what you want to say to someone who asks what you're doing. What media are you going to be using? The during, okay? I keep going backwards, sorry. Your leads, okay? How often are you posting? Are you using email or phone calls for others that are interested in something? Trust, like I said down there, trust is a barrier to those sales. So you have to be posting, you have to be giving them, you know, interesting information, interesting posts. Are you directing them to your website? Is that a place that you've been utilizing? Are you blogging for interest? This is shareable to your social media as well. If you are posting on your website, using it like a blog, that is another way of A, it's got history there, and B, you can share that out as a post to your social media. The third step is the after they become a member, or after they receive it, or you receive a donation from them, whatever you happen to be looking for. Have your systems in place for support. Make sure to follow up and track your improvements. And then also ask for referrals. Who do you know that would be interested in this? If we help someone, if somebody gets a grant, or some of our the girls that you're helping in your Dream It Be It, ask for testimonials if it's appropriate and applicable. You can use those on social media as well. So what type of posts? I gave you a bunch of ideas right here, but let's talk about some specific things to post. We can really focus on the type with the rest of those thoughts floating in our head back there. Remember, we want to solve their problem. Okay, their problem is, our mission is what we're solving in our problem. In those our followers are looking for something, right? They either want to join something, hopefully they want to donate, perhaps they're looking for educational grants, perhaps they have teenage girls that they want to involve. How can we bring those things to mind in our posts? One of the key things here is to make sure that any images that are being sent out to the public are clear and crisp, and that they have information that would be of interest and describes what you're doing and what it is regarding. The reason for this is sometimes in the feeds, the social media, they don't come out in sequence. Like, you won't see today's first. Maybe you'll see something from 3 days ago. Multiple images from one post could be broken into pieces, so the context is off. So make sure that you're adding descriptions on your images so that they're engaging, clear, crisp, and it makes sense when someone just kind of sees one out of the 15 images out in the feed. Much of what we do on social media is to educate, entertain, inspire, add value, and to create an action. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about what to post. Plan out your social media by using a calendar. You can plan ahead so you're not scrambling to post anything or something, or you realize, gosh, I haven't posted in 3 weeks. That's where you end up losing that traction in terms of the algorithms on, especially Facebook and Instagram. You must be posting on a regular basis. Which brings me back to consistency. The reason we do not have growth or engagement on our pages is due to our inconsistent posts. Or we're not sharing items of interest. Speak to your target persona. Okay, or maybe we're just not asking them to engage. Put a question out there. How can we help you? How can we serve you? You know, you've seen other posts out there, some of those like this or that, or something like that. Would you be interested in live your dream or dream it be it? You know, something like that. We have to focus on the mission while we are posting. So our mission tells us exactly who we're serving, exactly who we're looking for, and exactly how we're going to be helping those in the community. Other tips for growth. Do not be afraid to throw a few dollars out to boost an important post. Your $10 or $20 will bring you hundreds to thousands of views. Make sure you take the time and choose the demographics of who will see it and the location if you are doing these. This is critical since you don't want to send things to people in Delaware if we're in California. Events. Events are a great option to use the event page for our fundraisers. Invite people to it through Facebook, include members as admins so they can share it to their friends too. This gets your event in the Facebook events section and seen by those that are interested in those type of events. Also remember the graphics and the images are important as are the updates through the time it is open. So if you open it now and your event is in a month, continue to post inside that event page. It keeps it in the feed of those that are interested and are clicking that they're going. All members need to share it. All members need to be involved in the event pages. It really, really helps with the movement and the reach in terms of that post. And then also you can also, I think you can throw ads out there on events as well, or boosts. And another idea is to use QR codes on public flyers. This will quickly get interested people to your event page or your website for more information. We're looking at different demographics, so we have to start utilizing different, not be afraid to use different ways to get them interested. QR codes are very important right now. A lot of people will use their phone, just give me the information, they scan it, it opens your website to the page you want it to go to, or it may open Facebook to the event page, whatever you link that code to. Summary is, our clubs are a business. Look at the message you're sending out to the public. Who is reading it? How are we speaking to them? How are we engaging them? Are we engaging them? Are we offering a fun yet informative space on our page? Make sure to track your interactions and your growth, and definitely be consistent. I do have a question in terms of this. Do you have any interest in learning how to do graphics? If not, I mean, if you are, I know Carla is doing something on flyers next month. But if you are interested in learning how to do graphics, might be for a class down the road. And then any Q&A. Anybody have any questions?
Chris, can you talk about how to create QR codes?
You can Google it. Actually, there's sites that you can create free QR codes. Also, if you're using things like Canva, then you can use, they have I believe you can do it right through Canva where you're creating QR codes. There's tons of free sites out there, and it's basically linking a page. You grab the link and then they convert it into an image of a code that is read by a smartphone.
Okay, so when you go to the site, you say this is the page I want to do, and then it creates the code. Okay.
Yep, and it's just like an image with like all kinds of swirly things looking like it. And when you put your camera over it, it will, on your phone, it'll open up, you give it permission to open up that page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most of us have used them, but maybe not created them.
Yeah, a lot of times, like nowadays, they kind of go into when you go into restaurants, a lot of times the menus on QR codes now. And so, yeah, we kind of have to get used to doing those type of things. Consider having a social media budget. Absolutely,
Just me.
absolutely. There should be I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to, someone else is trying to ask a question. They're raising their hand. It's Bridget.
Oh, no, I had made that comment about the social
Yeah.
media budget, but I did have one other comment, Chris, and I'm new to Sir Optimus, so I was fortunate enough to attend a conference that they had over in Nevada a few weeks ago. And one of the things that was hammered in, and I think, Karen, I shared the link with you, so you might be able to share it with Chris as well, is branding. Super, super, super important. To have the correct branding for your social media pages, for almost anything that goes out there, really. I think the higher up echelons of the Sir Optimus groups, whether that be the international or the Americas or, you know, and on down, I think that was something that they really hammered in that I took away. Branding is very, very important so that there's a unity between all of the clubs together and we don't look like a patchwork quilt.
Absolutely. And a lot of and that's why like flyers need to be kind of get sent to our public awareness chair so that they're making sure that our branding is on it, and that you're using the proper mission. And, you know, because we've changed missions like 3 times now in just a couple of words. It may not be the same. So we want to make sure that everything there is definitely right, that your pages are set up, that you're using the proper logos. So yeah, great reminder there. And then definitely consider having a small budget for those important boosts. Don't cost much. My club just did one last month. I think we paid $10 and it went to like 1,500 people, you know, so that is definitely, you know, worth it for the $10. And within that, we have conversations with 4 people that are interested. Tell me about your club. I want to hear more. I want to hear more. That would not have happened without the boost. Karen? You had a question, Karen?
Me, Karen?
Or that
No,
was
no,
your
no.
question?
No, yeah. Done.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. So Chris, you talked about different audiences. So there's like,
Yes.
maybe the younger person, et cetera. What is the best strategy for, you also talk about consistency. So do you recommend like alternating messages to your different audiences? Like how do you have consistency and also do different things to reach different people?
You can have alternating messages with the overall strategy of that's why I kept going back to our mission. Our mission includes women and girls. Those are 2 different demographics completely, right? But we have 2 different programs that reach those 2 different demographics. And so should our message, right? We want to involve people that like I was talking about in those personas, that the younger group may want to work with the teens, the younger you can definitely, when you're creating a post, speak to one topic. Okay, don't say we're talking about dream it, be it, and live your dream on the exact same post. Keep them definitely separate, because then you're talking to different demographics. And you can that's why I said kind of do it like a calendar. Like I'm going to post twice a week on this day and this day, and kind of set that up. I write it in my calendar. Okay, it's written in my calendar of when I'm going to be posting, so that we can start building that consistency. of getting something out, because Facebook and Instagram work on algorithms. Okay, so they know you're posting on a regular basis, then it's going to end up, you're going to be growing that reach. The more people that like it, comment, that type of thing, it kind of goes out to more and more people. If you stop posting, it kind of crashes, and then you have to start again. Okay, so it's really important to figure out what is the best. And maybe it's only once a week for you, but if it's consistently once a week, that's okay. If you can do it 2 or 3 times a week, that's great. Just stay consistent and continue to grow that that message. Okay, and it can be an assortment of things. Like I gave a bunch of different a variety of ideas out there. You can even just post quotes. You can post things that are happening in the community, things that you're going to be working on, share pictures of things that you've been working on. People like to see the behind the scenes, and they like to be involved with things that is going on. And it kind of inspires them to, I could do that. That sounds like fun, I'm on board with that. It kind of gives it, we have to think of in realtor terms, right? You have to put yourself into their mindset. It's like, can you see yourself living here? Can you see yourself being a member of our group? That's kind of what we're looking at.
Chris?
That was a really long answer to that question.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just was gonna kind of make it an even longer one, not necessarily. But so we have a couple of 20-ish in their 20s members that are excited about helping with social media, and it really has helped a lot because they're always on it anyway, and they both are used to posting regularly, and that's been great. So I guess kind of in answer to Judy's question, I was going to say, if you have someone who's a little younger, and the thing that we've learned is we also need to have someone closer to my age also posting. But the issue that we've come into or come upon is we need to communicate with each other so that someone doesn't think the other person's going to post. And, so I just made a huge note about, and it's not something that I didn't know before now, but I haven't dealt with it until now. So we need to get everybody together and put a schedule together and decide who's doing what.
Yeah.
Because it's great. We do, but as you said, we can have a ton of posts when we have something coming up, and then if there's not anything going on, it's kind of quiet, and then we lose the momentum we built. So
right. And there's there's all kinds of things that you can do in terms of engagement. You can even go through the special holidays of the year where there's fried chicken day or something. I mean, I'm just making that up, but you know what I mean? There's Women's Day and anything having to do with women and girls. We could go through that if you're really looking for things to post, or go to I always sometimes go to the Dream It Be It page or the Live Your Dream page and see what they have put out and maybe share that out. Because sometimes they'll do info things like statistical information on women and girls or something like that that's interesting, and you could simply ask a question, right? Which we really want to get people to engage. And that's another thing too, is to get your club members on board. They should all be following your and sharing out as well. Okay, so it's not just, it's 1 or 2 people's job to do the posting. Everyone should be helping by sharing it, things that they feel passionate about. Not just in terms of, it's fundraiser time, we got to share this, but anything, because the more that happens, the more that page is in front of people and they're, you know, likely to start following you and engaging as well.
I have
Glad
a
you
quick,
said that, Chris, because we just got the 2 infographics for Live Your Dream and Dream It Be It today. So I'll make sure that Carla gets those to post to our site, and then all the clubs could grab it from there.
Yeah.
so I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So do you create most of your posts organically? So you create the actual post? Do you ever go in and follow other clubs and then just share their posts and sort of modify it so that it pertains to your club as well?
Sometimes it really depends, like a lot of the, yes, I have I shared other clubs posts? Yes. Do I do it on a regular basis? No, just really depends on what it is that they're sharing out. Because remember, you're looking for things that are going to interest your potential club members and or fundraiser participants. Think about like we had the persona, right? We were talking about who we're going after. But it's not just new members. We also want people to go to our events, donate to our events, maybe become a sponsor of something. So we have a lot of things that, you know, that we can really speak to. So, I mean, it just really, when I look at things, it's what I feel would be really uplifting and good for those that are following our group. Any other questions? Did I lose everybody? Are they just, are you all like,
Hey.
thinking, what?
Chris,
Yeah,
Chris, I don't know if you can hear me. It's Joelle.
yes,
I was just gonna say, like, maybe for some of the new members that are on this Zoom call tonight, is asking them to repost the region site, because we do have the Sierra Pacific region Facebook and Instagram, and it's nice when the clubs do share those information. So they may just forget that we have that Facebook side of things. So that's always a really good way for the lady who was just talking, is that we do share or reshare, repost that
yeah,
sometimes, like the Dream It Be It and the Live Your Dream graphics. And then
Right.
the second thing I was going to say, now that I'm almost home,
we still have you.
is to, yeah, is to share those posts, like you said, behind the scenes, because there are members in the community and they have FOMO, the fear of missing
Yes.
out, right? And so they want to be involved and they think you're having fun and they want to have fun too. So
Exactly.
all those exciting, positive posts that you can do is kind of that FOMO moment, fear of missing
Yes.
out. It just really engages the community and possibly that demographic that you're going after. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Great.
no, great points, Joelle, because absolutely, it is important to, that's what I was saying, you really have to kind of be in touch with who you're trying to reach and
Exactly.
and speak exactly to those people. In Joelle's club, you know, they have, well, in your old club, you guys were very involved in DIBI. I'm not really familiar too much with what you're doing now. I've kind of lost you, but and also Live Your Dream. So you guys always had something going on, you know, so
Yeah.
those, you're speaking directly to those people who, like you said, wanted to be involved and want to be a sponsor, wanted to be a donor, wanted to attend, you know, those type of things. So yeah, definitely great point.
Yep, absolutely.
Carla.
Oh, go ahead, Joelle, before I say anything. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm doing the online club now, so it
No, I know.
overlaps a lot of stuff. So we have an umbrella of huge demographics that we're trying to touch upon, and it's amazing compared to having a small local club, the reach that we can get, and that helps everybody, not just our club, but it helps everyone. And then I'm glad Carla's on because she can help you with all the public awareness stuff. Carla.
Hello. So that was a great segue. So I did put in the chat that as the region public awareness chair, I actually look to see what all the clubs are posting, and I will reshare. I reshare information from the Federation as well, and sometimes international. And so when we see things like Dream It Be It or Live Your Dream open and you all are posting that, we're posting that too. If there's ever something you want me to post, just reach out to me. You know, sometimes I just reshare on my own because I see it out there and you guys are doing fantastic work. But other times clubs just, you know, ping me and ask me to share something, and I will do that too. I'm always happy to do that.
So Chris, it's Charlotte
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
I have wonderful, by the way, I loved your presentation. It was really, really good. I have a question for, I have a shout out for Joelle because I observe her club, the online SynCal Club, do an amazing job on Instagram. And I want to ask Joelle is it okay to steal and borrow your content on there as long as we tag your club and to give you the credit?
Yes. That'd be great, Charlotte. Thank you.
Well, you're doing a great job, and it's like, why reinvent the wheel? I mean, but you know, and you can draw. So how can you explain, Joelle, maybe how, or Chris, how to tag? You know, I know how to do it, but I don't know that I can explain it. You know, how to. So if someone, let's say, I don't know, SI Calaveras County starts following correct me if I need to say this correctly. Seroptimus Central California Valley Online Club, right? Something.
The Central California Online Club. You just use the @ and it should illuminate it and make that club blue, like make that club name blue. So therefore you can say, this is a great, we're sharing or reposting this great message from @ whichever club that you're kind of taking that from, or from Sierra, you know, Pacific region, or Seroptimus International, the Americas, or all of those larger influences that we all have. So those are great places to reshare.
So you just do the @ and then
the @ yeah, and then start typing, and then it should turn that club blue or illuminate that box, and then you can just like click on it. Does that make sense? Mostly for Facebook, but it also works for Instagram.
Perfect. Okay, I have one other question real quick. Recently I have seen where, so Chris, this would be a great question for you. I have seen where you can do, like, you're posting on Facebook, let's say, I don't know about Instagram, but you can do an @everyone at the end of your post, kind of like a hashtag, but it's an @everyone. And then everybody in that group will get a notification about that post. And I don't know if that's only for private groups or if that's for Facebook pages as well. Do you know?
It's for business pages as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it is for, I was just gonna say, I saw a conversation just yesterday about that. And yeah, it will pull now, it'll pull everybody on that page. But here's the caveat to that. Don't use it often so that you're ticking off everybody on that page.
Right.
Because it will cause a notification to go to them. So if you're using it daily, that could be, an unfollow.
That's a really great awareness. That's a super good awareness, because it is kind of a unspecial way to do that. Like it doesn't feel personal, right? But at the same time, it gets the job done. But I appreciate the awareness. Right. Don't overdo it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great for, like, here's a fundraiser coming up, or, here's something going on in the community that we're doing. Definitely there's uses for it. Just don't abuse it. Is basically what I'm.
Thank you. Perfect.
My niece does that sometimes. And I'm like, okay, this has nothing to do with me. Why are you doing that? And I'm like, But I can't really unfollow my niece, you know?
I was gonna add too that Carla and I were working on, mostly Carla, barely me, on linking the Facebook and Instagram pages such that when you post on Facebook, it'll automatically post the same thing on Instagram. Do you want to say anything about that, Carla?
Yeah, so on Instagram, well, you can link your Facebook page and your Instagram page. And I did know for a long time that you could go on to, and the regions page had been linked, but I think that link got broken when we changed the password. So we reconfirmed that. And now that Facebook has updated to Meta, the page business view, you can actually do it the other way where you post on Facebook and on Instagram. And I know for the region, I wasn't taking advantage of that. And now I've figured it out and I can take more advantage of that because I think, you know, some people are on both sides, some people are on one, and sometimes you just really want to put it out there in both places. So definitely, you know, a way to really get your message out there on social media.
And in order to utilize that, you must be a business page
That's
on
right.
both sides. So you have to have that link established. So you would have to double check that if your Instagram and your Facebook are on. Obviously, the Facebooks are going to be pages, but sometimes people may not have upgraded from a personal profile to a business page. So you would definitely need to double check that. And then they'll be linked. And like she said, you can go post, from Instagram to Facebook, or now with the business new updates, you can post Facebook to Instagram.
And just to throw in 2 cents, because I found this out the hard way, not through Seroptimus, but with another entity. You have to specify if you're going to go from Facebook to Instagram or Instagram to Facebook. So if you
Correct.
post more on Facebook, do Facebook to Instagram, obviously, and not the other way around. If you post more on Instagram, then transition it from Instagram to Facebook. So
Right.
if you have to specify which one you want, going from A to B or B to A.
Correct.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, and that was my issue, is that I'm usually on Facebook and I wanted to feed it the other way, right?
Right.
To Instagram. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going on both, and like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And I usually do it the other way. I usually go on Instagram and bring it back into Facebook, because that meta is, it's difficult to figure out. It's not easy peasy.
It's a whole new
like it should
dimension,
be.
a whole new thing
Yeah.
to learn.
Exactly. Awesome. Any other questions? Not, throw it back to Judy. So thank you all for your interest, and hopefully you learned something.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you, Chris.
Chris.
That was wonderful. And it's a good
Fantastic.
reminder not to just haphazardly throw stuff out there. So thank you for reminding us that we need to have some logic in order to what we do. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and hope you learned something and can share with your clubs, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
very much,
Judy.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Chris.
Night.